that with her own emotions, whether or not this is a marriage, whether she feels that she wants to fight for or not. And in many ways, she exemplifies the modern woman simply because it was important to her to carve out a way whereby she could be financially independent. And as you say, for 1926, that is fairly unusual and very courageous of her.
It's very dignified. I'm not sure I would be that dignified. Now, Jamie,
She wouldn't.
Plays, don't traditionally have music. This is a lovely idea to add a score. What was it about this play in particular that you thought, oh, this will work well?
Well, there were two things. First of all, being asked to do anything by the acronym RSC, and you kind of say yes. So really, really exciting for me to get to do that and work with them. I've never done this before. And I read the script and it was so smart and funny and interesting. And I could immediately hear the music that I wanted to write for this play as I was just reading the words, let alone getting to be involved in the rehearsal process. And it's an amazing collaborative experience for me that I've not done before, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, so not only is Jamie involved, I can imagine, Rose, that reading about Constance, this sort of clever, smart woman who wants to empower herself, would have really excited you saying, I want this role.
It was very much those elements of her that pulled me in. And I feel like there was also a depth, there was a wisdom to her, which I loved, because she was rooted in an acknowledgement of who she is, understanding that, and also that, I mean, you mentioned it before, but there's such wit, there's such intelligence with many of the characters, but particularly because with Constance being the lead character, she kind of creates this very decadent, marvellous world which all the other characters inhabit.
And we know, Jamie, that you love English literature. I mean, this could be a niche, couldn't it? Scores for famous plays.
Well, I like it. You should come and work on my kind of team to help with my career. I think I got really used to it when I studied English literature and film and drama, so that there is that, you kind of get used to reading a text and figuring out what's happening between the words and what a character might be thinking and feeling. And when I'm writing for my albums or for other people, I do try and inhabit those kind of worlds anyway. If I'm stuck, I try and dream up a character or think about a story or something like that in order to help me with my writing anyway.
And you could play it live.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's no end to this.
You've really worked this all out.
Well, it's a great idea.
Now, Rose, Constance, she makes a huge life-changing decision, becoming an interior designer in it to empower herself, like we said. If you could change career and do anything you wanted, what would it be?
See, I have always felt when we as a nation sit down and watch David Attenborough documentaries, I've always wanted to be on the camera crew. I've always wanted to be behind the lens, just so that you can travel the world and you can be amongst the kind of thick of it with these amazing animals, but also kind of witnessing chases and, I don't know, cheetahs being born or something like that. Like, it's amazing.
What a great answer.
Oh, well, I think...
Before we wrap up this interview, we have to ask you about Hacks. Now, this is going to be a new drama based on the phone hacking scandal. It's called The Hack, I think, isn't it? What can you tell us? Because the cast look fantastic.
Yes.
Is there anything you can sort of drip feed at this point?
Do you know what? Other than what it is that we already know and what ITV have already kind of drip-fed to us, is that you're precisely right. It is 7 episodes, and it is a drama revolving around the phone hacking scandal with the News of the World. And essentially it's from the perspective of Nick Davies, who's played by David Tennant. And, I mean, it was the most glorious job. It was sensational. But they have been on me to not kind of speak about it too broadly.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Shall we move on? The Constant Wife is on at the Swan Theatre in Stratford-upon-Avon from the 20th.